This is Miles and Kyle from the band Night. And you're listening to the New Wave Podcast.
You're tuned into the New Wave Music Podcast, your go-to destination for exclusive interviews, album reviews, and the latest music news. And now, here's your host, Steve.
All right, it's time for our new music spotlight, where we introduce you to emerging and rising artists from across the new wave, post-punk, darkwave, and alternative landscape. Artists we think will really connect with you and deserve a place on your radar. One of the things we love doing on this show is not only celebrating the legends of the genre, but also help shining a light on the artists carrying that sound and spirit forward today. And today we've got a band that blends atmosphere, emotion, and that beautifully haunting darkwave edge that so many of our listeners gravitate towards. The artist we're going to be focusing on today is Silent Wolf. I'm joined by Jeff and Tory from the band. Thank you both for joining me here on the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
So the first question I have is, Silent Wolf has such a strong sonic and visual identity. How did this project originally come together?
I guess it originated with me during COVID. I used to be in the music scene a while back and kind of got out of it and decided to go back into it. And this time I wanted to do more of the realm of music that I love, like Depeche Mode and stuff like that. So I taught myself how to program and how to play keyboard, and we needed somebody to master the music. And that's when I hit Jeff up.
He sent me some of the stuff that he had going and asked me if I would mix and master it for him. And I said, yeah, of course, because I was into that same kind of music as well. And then once he sent it over to me, I started listening to it and was just like, man, like we could really write to this. Like we could do something with it.
So I have to ask, what's the story behind the band name?
I don't know if there's necessarily a story, just like wolves they're really only silent whenever they're sleeping or hunting. And that's just kind of how it started. And then we were like, well, let's try to put a twist on the spelling and make it easier for people to find. And so that's where the V came in. And yeah, there's not a whole lot to it really.
Well, your sound definitely feels rooted in darkwave and post-punk, but still kind of very current. What artists helped shape the sound of the band?
For me, I'm a huge fan of Depeche Mode and the Deftones. Duran Duran, George Michael's a huge influence. So that side for me.
Yeah, for me, it's obviously Depeche Mode, 9 Inch Nails, The Cure, Joy Division, Sisters of Mercy, just the type of goth new wave.
So when you're writing the songs, what usually comes first? Are you looking for more for an atmosphere, a melody, or the lyrics?
It's never lyrics first.
Yeah, it's never lyrics first. Usually I just start tinkering around with different sounds, and if I come up with a cool melody, I'm like, oh, okay. I'll usually build like a couple of bars of a certain sounds, drums, and then it just kind of snowballs from there. Really, we get like a foundation of like 8 bars, and then we're like, okay, this is it, and then we start building everything off of that. I do all the music here, and then I send it to Tory, and he starts throwing vocal ideas and music ideas at me with it, and we just kind of go back and forth. We both have home studios, so it makes it a lot easier nowadays, for sure, to do things like that.
Yeah.
Let's help our listeners get a feel for Silent Wolf by maybe talking about some key tracks. Let's start off with probably your most recent song, 10 Virgins.
Hold me down, watch the world fade away. Never before
What was the mindset or story behind that song?
Lyrically, I always struggle when I'm doing, am I doing the right things in life? Am I being a good person? Am I, I always worry about what's going to happen to me when I die. And a lot of people, when they hear the title 10 Virgins, they think it's like, oh, you're dying, you're going to get 10 virgins. No, it's actually it's a story out of the Bible. So it's basically about revelation and am I going to be left behind or not?
The track Useless. This song feels especially raw. What were you channeling when you wrote it?
I'm really into movie scores, horror movie scores, different sonic textures. I think that goes in line with like the Nine Inch Nails factor of things as well. But I'm also like Charlie Clouser, Chris Verena, a bunch of Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, all those guys in the scores that they write. I was listening to a lot of that at the time.
Let's move on to the next song I want to discuss is Deception. Sonically, this one stands out. What were you aiming for with its mood and texture?
That was one I just came up with a melody and honestly, and just started building off of that. We wanted something really like energetic, impactful, and like something you just bob your head to, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Danceable, I guess.
Lyrically, it's just about deception itself. I think at the time I was just feeling like don't always believe what the people are telling you. You got to basically find your own way. Otherwise, you're going to be following the same path as them.
Another track that really stood out to me that I feel our listeners are going to enjoy is My Beloved. Can you tell me about that song?
That song I actually wrote about a buddy's love life experience. He was in a relationship where basically neither one of them were good for each other, but they couldn't stay apart. So they were constantly fighting and bickering, and it always came back to, but we're back together. So basically you just can't avoid the person, even though it's not a healthy relationship.
Probably one of my favorite tracks from you guys is Elation.
It's all right, it's all right. Tonight I feel it in my soul. It's all right, tonight we drift into unknown. I don't know what leads us here tonight. It's all right, tonight we drift into unknown.
I feel like the title suggests uplift, but I feel that there's a little bit of tension in there. Was that contrast intentional?
No, Elation, I actually wrote about my wife. Uh, sometimes there's tension. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was actually the very first. That song is based off the very first time we ever met, and how I was feeling like, this is awesome, this is amazing, and could this last forever? But yeah, it was about my wife.
That song almost didn't turn out to be a song. Actually, we almost trashed that one.
Well, I'm glad you didn't. It's a
Yeah,
great song.
it took a different path. It's kind of different than the other stuff we'd been writing at the time. And you're like, okay, do we keep it? Do we trash it? And we just decided to keep it. So
Yeah.
And that was one thing I was going to ask you as I was listening through your catalog through Spotify and Apple Music. I don't really know what years those came out. That one felt like an early track, and I was going to ask if that was one of the earlier songs you wrote. And it's kind of nice to see the progression of your sound over the last few years.
Yeah, it's one of the maybe midpoint ones, I would say.
yeah, I mean, out of all the songs that we've talked about just now, it was one of the first ones that we wrote.
Yeah, out of the ones we've talked about, it is. Yeah.
I got a couple more I'd love to discuss with you. 1,000 Lies.
Pushing out the tongue that breathes 1,000 lies. Seems overrated. Now you open up the lie into your mind. The lie was full of changing. I said, just free your mind tonight. Don't let the light consume you. Free your mind tonight.
Lyrically, what kind of space were you exploring with this track?
Kind of what the title talks about, like just lies after lies. It's hard to reminisce about that. That's an older song, so it's
Yeah, that was one of the first.
that
ones
was
we
that
wrote.
was probably one of, like, the third or fourth release that we ever did. And we don't really play that one much anymore. I love that song. I actually wrote the majority of the music on that one. It's basically like looking through the eyes of a liar.
The song Resist. This one feels like a statement song.
It's always cool and haunting.
Were you responding to anything when you wrote this, or was there any meaning behind the song, or just something that inspired you?
That one was basically another version of resisting worldly things, not becoming one with the world, because that can be really toxic. Basically, just whatever's going on, you have to do what you feel is right. Don't fall into the trap of what's going on around you. That was actually an earlier song as well.
All right, the other song I got to ask you about is Control. What can you tell me about this track?
God, that was the second
Second.
song we wrote.
Yeah. That song is about basically not bending the knee to anyone. Everyone's coming at you, and it's like, are you going to stand up and do something about this, or are you just going to fall down? I actually came up with the first synthesizer part on that. And that song, I thought initially was going to be a soft, slower song. And Jeff took my little intro part there and totally made it into a heavier song, which I loved. In the end, it became something totally different than what I imagined. So, yeah.
That's probably one of the I guess the fan favorites. People really like that one when we play it live. Yeah.
Well, you guys have also released some unexpected covers of some classic songs, such as Under the Milky Way. Love song. And Pet Cemetery. What drew you to those songs and decided to cover them?
I love Pet Cemetery. I'm a huge punk fan as well. So I asked for Pet Cemetery and Under the Milky Way. Those were two. Jeff, being a Cure fan, he reached for the Cure, but when we approached him, it was like we want to do our own take on them. We just don't want to like imitate them. So we sped up one, we slowed the other two down quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing too, right? Is like you can draw fans, like new people in with a cover song, but it's the fact of like once they hear it, knowing that you made it your own, you have your own take on it. You're not just replicating like what they're playing. I think that really that interests people. That always interests me. So I'm like, if we're gonna cover a song, we've got to make it pretty different than the original, I think.
The Cure one was the
we almost broke up over that one. No, I'm just kidding.
That was a tough one to do, but it was also one like, my God, if we put this out there, we could really get heavily slammed for it as well. Cause Cure fans are pretty brutal when it comes to like covering one of their songs. So luckily we got pretty good reception from it. So
yeah, we got good responses from it so far. A couple negatives, but whatever.
They're great covers. I like how you phrased it. You kind of put that your own spin on them and made them your own. Especially, I gotta say, Pet Cemetery was something that really, as a listener, just kind of hit me out of left field. It did not sound like the original material at all. You guys have really given it that synth dark wave treatment. Something that might surprise some of your listeners, and really like the creative direction you took on that version of the cover.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. We haven't listened to that since we released it like 2 years ago. So.
Yeah.
Out of the catalog of your band, is there a track that you'd like to point new listeners to first? One that really captures who the band is?
As far as what's out now, if I had to pick one song, it would probably be 10 Virgins, just because that's more of like the direction that we're heading in this new year with our material. It's to me, it's got a good poppy element to it. If you like pop music, but it also has dark melodies, cinematic textures. You know, Tory's vocals, I think, fit that song really well. I think he did a really good job just making it flow and smooth. His vocals are really smooth in that song. So that's my favorite. I would point people towards that one.
I'd probably say that or My Beloved. Both of those are kind of representations of the majority of the catalog. You got your poppy side, but then you have your darker side as well. So
I've got a question for each of you, though. I'm going to start with Jeff. Jeff, the question for you is, there's a strong emotional pull in your music. What themes keep resurfacing for you?
As far as just writing the music goes, I'll be honest with you, that's a hard question. I just kind of start writing, and it's whatever I'm feeling at that time, I guess.
And then Tory, I believe you kind of do a lot of the lyrics, right?
yeah, I do all the lyrics.
So Tory, how personal are the lyrics? Are they driven from lived experiences, or are they more cinematic storytelling?
For the most part, it's actually lived experiences. Yeah. So love, religion, and stuff like that. You know, I try to base it. I want the real emotion to come through. So I just can't write something that I'm not connected with.
I've seen some live clips of you guys online. There's really, what struck me though, is there's really kind of a visual side to Silent Wolf as well. That was quite striking. How important is imagery to the music?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier, actually. We've got a whole new light setup that we're doing as well. For this year, for our shows. It's, you know, and we try to base it around the lights, the look, to match the music. So it's just visually and audibly a whole experience for everyone.
We actually program the lights based off of how we feel the song is.
Yeah.
So if it's a dark, moody song, we try and make it dark and moody lighting, you know, but if it's something like Deception, where it's a little bit more energetic, we try to make the lights, you know, a little bit brighter and energetic.
We feel like when we play, like, we want it to, I guess, seem larger than that, really. Like like people are going to see, I don't know, a bigger band.
Well, like I said, from what you posted online, it looks visually and sonically immersive experience of a show.
Thank you.
One that if you guys came to my area, I would not miss seeing you guys live just for that reason alone.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Speaking of live performances, question we like to ask all the bands: what's been your most memorable performance so far? Whether it was memorable because it was amazing, disastrous, or just plain bizarre.
I think for me, we got to play a bigger venue here and open up for Hawthorne Heights. That was pretty memorable. It was the first time I've ever been on a stage. Whenever we were doing our sound check and our subs kicked in, I felt the vibration, and that was just like a feeling I've never felt before. So that was a really cool experience.
Yeah, sonically, that venue was awesome. That's probably the best venue that we've played sonically. For me, it was probably a show we played. It was a benefit show that we played. The stage wasn't very tall. It was just kind of a more
Intimate,
experience for us and everyone else. It was really cool. It was different than like being on a tall stage and in front of everyone. I don't know. It was, for me, that was a good experience.
Has the crowd or fan reaction ever changed the way you hear one of your own songs?
So around here, we're the only Darkwave band. So around here, what's big is hardcore and punk or indie. We get a great reaction from the fans here, but I don't think anything's ever changed the mood of the song or anything like that. But it is awesome to like see people bobbing their head when you know that that's not your typical crowd, you know,
not what they're into.
Yeah, especially the hardcore kids. They've kind of taken to us, which kind of surprised me.
So I think the biggest thing for us is when we see people singing our songs back to us, that's like, okay, that's good with me. That's when we know that you've got a good song, got a good hook to it all. You know, it's getting stuck in people's heads. So
Can you tell us what's coming up next for Silent Wolf? What should fans keep an eye out for?
Well, February 16th, we're going to be releasing a new song called Beware the Promise. We still have, I think, 2 more after that to release.
Yeah, we've this whole year we've got a bunch of new songs we're going to be releasing. Probably one every 6 weeks or so.
Yeah. We actually are playing our first goth show. So we're really excited about that. It's like, hey, these people actually listen to this kind of music. So but we're hoping to do a little traveling this year. We're hoping to make it up to Chicago, hopefully Dallas. We're going to be doing a lot more this year than we did the previous year.
So the best way to find the new song or all your music really is it through Spotify, Apple Music.
It's on.
Do you guys have a Bandcamp?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do have a Bandcamp. But yeah,
we're on every platform, I think.
Yeah.
So.
And what social media can our listeners find you guys on? How can we find you guys on social media?
We prefer Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram is where we're more active. We do have a Facebook, but we don't really keep up with it that much. I think for bands, it's kind of all around.
You want to share your Instagram handle for our listeners?
Yeah, it's Instagram.com/silent_wolf WVLF.
Jeff, Tory, thank you so much for taking time to join me today. It's been great being able to dive into the music, some of the stories behind the songs, and really into the world of Silent Wolf.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
If this is your first time listening, we thank you and ask that you please subscribe. That's a great way to support us. And if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to leave us a 5-star review. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search for New Wave Music Podcast. We'll catch you on the next episode.